Your Excellency, the Special Advisor to the President of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Ato Asefa Kesito, and also recognizing Her Excellency Frenesh Mekuria, Deputy Minister of Women, Children and Youth Affairs. Also recognizing the presence of the Director of Social Affairs at the African Union, representatives of the foreign missions and the UN and international organizations. Invited guests, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and children present here. It gives me a great pleasure to be here with you today to celebrate the 22nd day of the African Child, themed The Rights of Children with Disabilities, the duty to protect, respect, promote, and fulfill, which is a timely and important issue to focus on. On this very day, we give a better attention in addressing the key challenges that are faced by children with disabilities in their day-to-day lives, particularly here in Africa. African children with disabilities, compared to children with the rest of the world, face serious challenges that are aggravated by economic and social instability of the continent. Besides the economic instabilities, social misunderstandings such as attitude towards disability among most African people still remains a great threat towards the well-being of children with disabilities. Children with disabilities in Africa are among the most affected by violence, war, sexual abuse during disaster situations, and mostly discriminated and valued less as well. The prejudiced attitude of African societies against children with disabilities needs to be changed and corrected. We should be able to note that denying rights to basic health care, treatment, and education prolongs our efforts of coming out of chronic poverty within the continent. Plan International strongly believes that neglecting the vital task of ensuring all-round development and the well-being of children with disabilities will, in the medium to longer term, eventuate not only in significant continental deficit in human capital, but also in social instability. Ultimately, this can significantly retard social and economic development. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and children, this day gives us all an opportunity to renew our commitments towards making this world a better place for children, including children with disabilities, to live, play, learn, and make their own dreams come true. Furthermore, to make children with disabilities a priority in our development programs. Children with disabilities should have equal access to protection and be given opportunities to participate and be involved in the decision-making processes of the African country's social, cultural, and economic development endeavors. Our development plans are incomplete without involving children with disabilities in addressing the issues, priorities, and preferences that will help them realize, maximize, and utilize their potentials. The culture of isolating children with disabilities from the rest of the society must be discouraged. According to research findings in recent years in Africa, most disabilities are caused by malnutrition and disease, natural disasters, traffic and industrial accidents, environmental incidents, civil conflict, and war. We can together embark on minimizing and eliminating the root causes of preventable disabilities. There is also need to include in schools curriculum about the special needs education, focusing on children with disabilities, and suitable infrastructure within the schools and communities where the children live. Africa needs experts and trained skills in order to respond to the complex development needs of differently abled children. Plan International is a child-centered humanitarian and development organization that has been working for decades in Ethiopia and for 75 years worldwide towards ending child poverty. We have been working all around the globe and all across the African continent on issues affecting children with disabilities. We welcome this year's theme for the Day of the African Child and believe it is an opportunity to create a suitable environment for African children with disabilities to share their experiences, cultures, and talent with their peers, their community, and the world at large. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and children, disability, as the earlier group had said, disability is not inability. It's more than just a saying and must be commonly understood and accepted by African communities. As we commemorate the 22nd Day of the African Child today, Plan International believes that through promoting an inclusive world for children, collaborating and partnering with like-minded organizations and institutions, including robust and coordinated efforts, can be made towards the improvement and empowerment of the lives of deprived children in Africa. Therefore, I would like to call upon an increased and stronger collaboration and coordination between international NGOs, local NGOs, the private and other non-governmental agencies, the research institutions, and governments to join hands in improving the situation of African children with disabilities so that these children will have hope and a bright future. Closing my speech at this very important day with so much distinguished guests and children, it reminds me of what Desmond Tutu had actually said. A person is a person because he recognizes others as persons. Children with disabilities are complete human persons. Let us recognize their human rights. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mrs. Chikwe Mbweeda.